3, 2, 1.
Hit it. Experience 24 hours of head-to-head AWS sessions from around the world.
Mic check, 1, 2.
Jaws PANKRATION 2021. Up till down.
Hello, my name is Brian Tarbox. I am an Amazon community hero. I also run the Boston AWS user group. My side business is creating Alexa skills. My company for doing that is called Wabi Sabi Software. I'm hoping that my Japanese friends will understand the significance of that. Thank you for joining in your evening. It's my afternoon on Saturday, but thank you for being here. We are going to talk about Alexa and how to add emotionality to her. We know that Alexa is not actually a person. We know that it is actually just a device. But we refer to Alexa as her rather than as it. People have evolved to assume that we are talking to humans. And so it is better if Alexa acts that way. The question is, how do people talk and how do computers talk? People have inflection, and sometimes we speak slowly, and sometimes we speak very, very fast. Computers always talk the same, no matter what they are saying. Here's how a computer would say two things. Hello, it is raining. Hello, you are about to die. Those things should be said differently, but the computer doesn't know how to do that. And that makes us very aware that it's not a person. So how do we make Alexa seem better than that? First, let me just explain how Alexa works. We start with a person who speaks to a device. The device sends the text to the cloud. The cloud performs speech recognition, natural language understanding, and machine learning, and generates what's called an intention. So if you say, is it raining? The intention might be weather. That intention is sent to your application, which is usually a Lambda. That Lambda generates whatever response you want it to make, and it sends it back to the device, which speaks it to the person. Alexa applications are called skills. The main skill that I have written is one for British football, soccer for Americans. British football fans are passionate about the game, and so I have gotten a lot of users. This is the visual version of my skill, though I will be talking about the audio version. Let me now play you a simple response.
Response.
There was nothing wrong with that. It's very standard, and it's how most people use their skills. You can see by this code that it's quite easy. Whoop. I simply say speak and then give it some text. But let's do a little better. Now I'm going to play you some text from my skill that has emotion.
Spoken response with emotion indicators. Liverpool wins the league and so on and so on. Emotions take time.
So even if you didn't understand the English, you could tell that it started at a certain level and then went up. Okay. You can also see from the code that it's a little more complex, but not very much. We added an Amazon emotion indicator of excited with high intensity. Another thing you may have noticed is that it took a while for the excitement to come up. That's because people don't have a flag that says, I am not excited. I am excited. We ramp into it and out of it. And so Alexa tries to do the same thing to seem more natural. Another thing we can do to make it seem less like a computer is to have variety. A computer will always tell you the same thing the same way. But people generally don't do that. So if you were going to ask my skill about goal scoring, sometimes I would say the players with the most goals are. Sometimes I would say the highest scorers are. Sometimes I would say the top scorers are. I pick these randomly so that every time a person interacts with my skill, they get a slightly different experience. And hopefully that makes it more like a human. Now let's take it a step further and add crowd noise. If you have ever been to a sporting event, you know how loud it can be. And British soccer fans are known to be especially raucous.
The final scores are Bruno Fernandes with Manchester United has 3, Greg England with Newcastle United has 1, Serge Conyers with Brentford has 1, Christian Norgard with Brentford has 1, Craig with Manchester United has 1. Asked about the team for our team.
So again, even if you didn't understand the English, you could hear that there was background crowd sound. So you could hear that there was background crowd sound. Some of my users have complained that the sound is so loud that they can't hear the results. And I tell them that is just like being in the stadium. To generate this, you make a slight change in what your Lambda returns. It returns a render document that lists both the text to speak and the sound file to play underneath it. I have many sound files and I play them randomly. So with random speech and random sound, every time you interact with the skill, it is different.
Final scores are Bruno Fernandes.
It is also important to specify who is doing the speaking. Most skills just use the standard Alexa voice. but you can specify other speakers. I recently translated my skill into Spanish. And the original version had the Alexa voice trying to speak Spanish, and it was terrible. I then added a Spanish speaker, and it got much better. Let's listen.
The winner of the Premier League might be Liverpool, or it could be Chelsea. El ganador de la Premier League podría ser el Liverpool o podría ser el Chelsea. El ganador de la Premier League podría ser el Liverpool o podría ser el Chelsea.
El ganador de la Premier League podría ser el Liverpool o podría ser el Chelsea.
So, even if you don't know English or Spanish, I would hope that you would recognize that the later version sounded much better. For this presentation, I've done the same thing with Japanese. So listen to a non-Japanese speaker and then a Japanese speaker say the same thing.
私のプレゼンテーションを実現できるありがとう。質問はありますか？私のプレゼンテーションを聞いてくれてありがとう。質問はありますか？
Again, I hope you will agree that the later speaker sounds much better. And when the speaker doesn't seem to even understand the language, we put the fact that it is a computer doing the speaking right in your face.
私
So here are the takeaway points I would like you to get. By making small changes to your skill, you can greatly increase user engagement. Most skill developers are not doing this. So you can make your skill stand out from the others. And why is that interesting? Well, besides the bragging rights of saying that you have a high engagement skill, if many people are using your skill, Amazon will actually pay you. And that's pretty nice. That is all I have. I would invite you to check out briantarbox.org because there I have links to more information. I have links that will take you directly to my skill. And I would encourage you to try the skill and leave me a review if you would. And there are also how-to videos there of how to do all of the things that I've shown you here. Thank you very much again from Wabi Sabi Software. That's it.
Music's loud and I'm feeling alright. It's slow motion, but it's just you and I. Yet the burn makes you feel so alive. And we live in the moment, so you can live in tonight. We're here now, let's party together. Let's live like tonight is forever. We're here now, let's party together. Let's live like tonight is forever. love the way that you move and how the lights keep up the groove. We're like in a movie, baby, but it's ending too soon. We're here now, let's party together. Life tonight is forever. We're here now, let's party together. Life tonight is forever.